Hello, I'm Azaikyousuke. Welcome back to VenusBlood Frontier. I just woke up maybe 20 minutes ago. I brushed my teeth, drank some protein shake, and yeah, and here I am. So if you guys have been following my Aokana Extra 2 playthrough, which is just done 3 days ago, I started working 2 days ago, and yeah, that's why right now it's 4:22 a.m. So you guys won't be seeing me recording a session in the afternoon anymore, that's for sure. And a quick update on my ears, they are 100% now, because yesterday after work I actually played some I played some Osu with my earbuds, and after I was done with the earbuds, I actually did not feel any ear pressure whatsoever. So my middle ear is 100% like recovered. Whew. And I didn't tell this in the Aokana video or when I was recording Aokana, but the reason why I didn't want to record after I went back from work is because I said this on Patreon, but I didn't want to bitch and moan about work to you guys, you know? I know for a fact that there's not going to be a lot of good things at work. That's just how work usually is, right? And I don't really want to bother you guys with all of my bitching and moaning about work and stuff, like dealing with coworkers. I don't think I personally dislike the work itself, but I know for a fact that I'm gonna be bitching about my coworkers a lot because I'm supposed to supervise a lot of their jobs, right? And yeah, for the past couple of days, I've just literally been training for a bit so that I can transition to the job again. Because I have been out of a job for a good... How many years has it? I think like a year and a half. But okay, enough about that. Let's actually talk about the last episode recap. So in the last episode, which is last week since I last played this, you guys have seen me do the common route for the chaos route. The chaos common route, as you can say, or as we might call it. And you might realize that I have the save file there says Nidhogg instead of very hard on the quick save. That's because I actually played the game through again on Nidhogg after we got the God Medallion open. Turns out, after you got the medallion open and you load the save, you don't actually get the medallion. You actually have to play through that new game that you save on that unlocked it. So yeah, that's what it is, I suppose. But alright, without further ado, let's actually play through the game, shall we? And this time, let us go through the chaos route. I'm excited for this. But sadly, I have to end in about an hour, 30 minutes, since after this, I gotta go straight to the gym and do my routine, as you guys know. It was. Alright, let's do this. What? Something inside Loki throbbed. I've already seen this, by the way. And people on Patreon has already seen this, but people on YouTube, I actually cut out this part for you guys on the law common route, since I wanted to know what the hell I actually got. So when I knew that it was the chaos route that I went to, I cut it out for you guys. When I was recording, or when I was editing, of course. When I was recording, I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? It wasn't his heartbeat, but something felt like it was about to be born. It was the beginning, the first sign of the life of a beast. His vision warped, dyed red. A violent impulse surged up within him. It was like the sense of release from becoming Vedrung, but several times bigger. My body's on fire! Oh shit, Levitane's karma is resonating with me. My hell is overflowing. My sleeping potential. We're melting together. I changed a couple... Oh shit, I wasn't ready for the scream. I changed a couple settings on my audio interface, by the way, and it seems that my voice is a bit loud. So let me lower the gain a tiny bit. Like, it's usually this loud, but this is a bit louder than I would want it to be. Maybe I'll lower the gain by like 1 or 2 decibels. So give me 1 second right now. And I'm back. I hope it's actually a tiny bit better, because it was going under red a lot. I mean, it's still going under red now, but yeah, I just hope it's better now. I don't want like clipping to be happening on the mic, because sometimes I do hear myself clipping a tiny bit, especially when I was voice acting Aokana and I got a bit hyped up during some of the FC matches. But yeah, I'm skipping your scream, sadly, Loki. Can't voice act that. The crack in the karmic casket gushed karma that flowed into Loki. His blood ties with Surt and Sinmara gave him the aptitude. Loki cursed his own fate, and that anger resonated. The heart of Yggdrasil activated regardless of its owner's will, guiding Loki and Vedrung toward the outcome of another potential path. Not even Surt expected this turn of events. She had planted despair and defeatedness in Loki so he would bring her the key. Yet that plan gave him the opportunity to become the Dark Lord. In other words, the power that rested within Loki exceeded Surt's predictions. I was gonna say expectations like instantly. My body. Dark karma hovered around Loki's whole body as he panted. He had become a whole new person, and he realized it. His memories and knowledge were Loki's, but the quality of his surging energy was closer to Vedrung's. His heightened emotions craved combat. Best of all, he felt more self-assured than ever before. And not because he had found an answer. The question of whether Surt's claim should be trusted didn't matter to him anymore. He was the Dark Lord. Therefore, he could simply do what came naturally and take what he desired by force. Once Loki accepted his new existence, his body didn't hesitate to act. Awaken, Dark Gear! As the true Varanard, I command you to hunger for chaos! Anvara awakened to its true self, Varanard. He no longer had to transform into Vedrung. Rather, Vedrung's personality had merged with Loki's, so they were one and the same. Out of all potential outcomes, he was the most powerful Loki Muspelheim. Wielding both brains and brawn, Dark Lord Loki was born. Surt, the world doesn't need 2 Dark Lords. One of us is fated to die here. Of course, it's going to be you. His vigorous tone resembled both Loki and Vedrung. Standing around the Dark Lord's throne, the 2 opposing forces stood off. Loki wielded Varanard while Surt wielded Azaikyousuke, each placing all their power into their weapons in an attempt to kill in one strike. Surt's transcendent energy combined dark and divine energy, creating the ultimate aura. Its quality dwarfed that of all other energy. Even with the supreme dark energy Loki got from Vedrung, if he thought about it rationally, he would have to conclude that his ultimate energy couldn't be defeated. But Dark Lords didn't deal in rationality. Even if his opponent had the ultimate power, he could devour that power. Loki calmly took on Azaikyousuke's dark glow. Heh. Black, world-burning fire. Give me a taste of it. He swung Varanard down from above his head. The pitch-black aura rushed and winded? I think it's winded, right? Winded like a murky whirlpool. The energy's incredible density even created tears in space itself. Loki stood at its center, refusing to take a step. Azaikyousuke's light was parted by his halberd like the Red Sea. Varanard's gluttony had begun. It absorbed divine and dark energy alike, transforming it into its own power. Its special ability worked even on the transcendent energy. The true Dark Gear cared not about elements. Loki got a glimpse of its power to absorb divine energy from goddesses when it was sealed. but not when it was fully unleashed. Shit, I'm so not ready for that, Loki. God damn it. So much screaming is gonna happen in this ride, I feel like. Loki survived a swing from Saigyon and roared. Varanart was stoked up on transcendent energy, waiting for the chance to release it. Even touching the dark gear might cause it to drain its wielder. Loki pointed its tip at Surt. She had Saigyon's pitch-black aura. The ultimate light had been taken onto Surt herself. Considering you're gonna die, you seem pretty happy right there, Surt. Perish, Surt! I'll devour you! Loki took a firm step forward and swung his blade down at Surt's shoulder. It was his mother's body, but his yearning for her didn't make him stop for a second. Varanart sliced her in half. The darkness released from Varanart incinerated Surt down to her soul. No matter how many vessels she had at the ready, she could never resurrect again after how thoroughly she was destroyed. Surt's vessel, what remained of Sinmara, was consumed by the black flames until it crumbled. Loki froze in his post-attack position, not even watching her demise. He didn't look at the ashes that Surt became either, instead letting out a deep sigh. There stood the new Dark Lord, Loki Muspelheim. His curiosity didn't dwell in the dead's failure for long, quickly turning toward his possessions. Loki slowly walked up to the goddesses. Freya was tending to her deeply wounded sisters, but her eyes indicated fear of the man who so easily dispatched Surt. Huh. Do I look like someone else? You think I should be weaker? Freya's backtracking made Loki grin. Her questions were understandable, but the physically and mentally inexperienced Loki was no more. What remained was the destroyer of Surt, who would usher in a new age for the Demon Realm and Yggdrasil as the new Dark Lord. Loki could have explained, but thought it would be faster to show than to tell. Let's take the other goddesses back. While we wait for them to heal, I'll declare my intent to conquer the world. You will be pawns to aid in my conquest. Rather than protect the old world, I bestow upon you the duty of taking it over. The vacant stage hall rang with a third party's voice. The entrance threw Loki's eyes. Standing grandiosely with her arms crossed, the petite woman was unmistakably the leader of the goddesses, Odin. Her sudden appearance gave Loki a bad feeling. Odin, why are you here? I tasked you with suppressing the battlefield outside. Odin explained as she descended the stairs. Her gaze never once turned away from Loki. He felt something off about her, but couldn't put his finger on it, so he waited to see what move she made. About my conquest. You have some words about that, I take it. Freya looked puzzled. Odin gave off a similar air to Loki after he combined with Vedrung. This woman was Odin, but also somehow not Odin at the same time. I'll tell you later. Freya knelt down to pick up Thor. Loki casually looked her way and... Lokasena told him there was danger. He reflexively dodged, avoiding a flying blade by a hair's breadth. Odin had launched the blade from a distance, clearly aimed at Loki's neck.
Odin-sama? Nani o?
What is the meaning of this, Odin?
今のをよく避けたの。しかし、これはどうじゃ?
Odin ignored their questions and followed up her attack. Blades hidden in the audience seats targeted Loki from all directions. This is nothing!
無理はせぬことじゃぞ、若殿。さすがのお主でも、キルトとの戦いで消耗していよう。
Was this your plan from the start? You were waiting to take us both out.
いかにもそうじゃ。まあ、若殿が勝つとはいささか予想外じゃったがね。じゃが、いずれにしろ同じことじゃ。
Shit! Odin speculated correctly. Loki had absorbed Saegjarn's energy, but the toll that now took on him was great. He planned to take his time adapting his body to the power, but Odin's immediate betrayal came as a surprise.
さらばじゃ、若殿。新たな魔王とやら、短き栄光じゃったの。
The four blades came at Loki from different directions all at once. They were impossible to evade. When it came to being physically skewered, not even the voracious Varnard would help. Loki saw the blades coming and... Don't belittle me! The dark energy in his body instantly expanded. It created a shockwave that redirected the blades. They grazed his body and left shallow wounds as they passed by. Loki calmed his breathing and glared at the deity with her arms crossed some distance away. I was gonna say crossed. This moment was his chance to counterattack. While Odin lost control of her blades, he would rush straight up to her and strike. However, the instant he tried to step forward, he noticed a self-assured smile on his foe's face. It said she knew she would win. Loki realized something and put his hand on his chest. Something that should have been there was missing. The key around his neck had its string cut. It was taken away. During that last clash, Odin's blade stole the heart of Yggdrasil. You were always going for the key!
うかつじゃの、若殿。これで秘宝は我が手に戻った。幾清掃の時を超えての。
She gripped the key and quivered with joy.
なぜです、オーディン様。どうしてこんな。
Are your memories back? Actually, before the fight with Sword even began, you must have remembered at some point and pretended you didn't. That would make the most sense.
さすがじゃの、若殿。その明晰さ。魔族でなければ、手元に置いていたもの。
Odin confirmed Loki's theory and arrogantly puffed out her chest. Well, non-existent one at that. Her attitude was like when they first met, displaying all the pride of the chief god.
わらわが従属神として、お主に染まりかけていたことは本当じゃ。しかし惜しかったの。わらわは女神の出身。魔族に仕えることなどできんのじゃ。
So when I first got this route, I was actually bewildered since I did not make Odin into a servant deity. As you can see, I was doing the law common route, right? And when she said this, I was like, what the fuck is going on? That's so weird because Odin was not a servant deity at all. Gah! Before she could be stopped, Odin stuck the key in her chest. Light flooded out. Waves of divine energy more vast than Loki had ever felt before. I guess never felt before is also correct? I don't know. Hurt his demon body. The pain was like burning on his skin, but he endured it and clenched his teeth. He should have been more wary of Odin. Her sealed memories should have told him she could become a threat. That's right. That vision that Levitain showed me. Sinmara's soul was divided from her body and reincarnated into Turka. Nobody could do that besides the highest deity, Odin. That meant Odin knew the relationship between Turka and Sinmara, and her sealed memories included that one. Therefore, the real Odin didn't tolerate opposition, even from a goddess. She was willing to wipe them from existence. Had he known that, he wouldn't have placed so much trust in Odin. But it was too late for regrets. The sacred light condensed. Odin's activation of the heart of Yggdrasil was nearly complete. Freya was so shocked that she put her hand over her mouth. The Odin she knew never compared to this level of divine energy. The woman that appeared from the light looked more mature than her previous self. Exuding a godly aura, the true Odin glowered at Loki and Freya. I still have no idea whether or not I'm saying glowered or glowered. I still don't like this form either, to be fair. I think it's mostly because it's such a stark contrast between her normal form or her like sealed form that her chest was like non-existent, and this one is like bursting at the seams. I don't know. I just feel like they're both two ends of the extremes. Odin!
ラグナロクの憎しみに肯定したままでは女神たる役割を果たせぬと思い極めたゆえじゃ。
So your memories were sealed by yourself.
その通りじゃ。じゃが、いかに記憶に封をしようと、結局はせんなきことじゃったね。
Odin plainly expressed her disappointment and shook her head. History repeats, just as Serd lamented. Gods, demons, and humans would fight tirelessly for eternity.
スルトメの考えも少しは認めてやるべきじゃろう。人間の感情を中心に据えた今のシステムでは世界は変わることはないと。
So now that you got your memories back, you sold the key to do something drastic, presumably.
この秘宝はもともとわらわのものじゃ。奪ったと言われるのは心外じゃのう。
She stared at the key in her hand and faintly smiled.
とにかく秘宝によってわらわは王子の力を取り戻した。わらわが掲げる真の理想郷実現のための力をじゃ。
A utopia? I'm more interested in your new look, honestly.
減らず口を叩きおる。内心おののいているのは分かっているのじゃぞ。
Odin perceptively grinned. Her haughty smile looked far more fitting than on her smaller body. She doesn't look like she's smiling though. Trembling. Why? Because I'm scared of you?
いつでもどちらが有利でどちらが不利か冷静に分析しておるのがお主じゃ。力を取り戻したわらわと魔王となったお主。誠に優れているのはどちらか。まして今のお主はスルトとの戦いで疲弊しておる。
I can't lie, but her voice actually sounds like Goku to me. I mean, you guys probably don't watch Dragon Ball in Japanese, but I watch Dragon Ball in Japanese, right? And to me, she sounds like Goku. Like a bit more deeper than Goku's voice, because Goku's voice is shrilly, but seems very similar. Thanks for the detailed analysis. You can try me if you want.
慌てるでない。わらわたちの他に大事な者どもの存在を忘れるお主ではあるまいに。
Odin implied something vague. Essentially, she meant the other goddesses present. Between the chief god and the Dark Lord, they would have to pick who to side with. Their decision would determine what happened next. Even if defeating Odin turned out to be impossible, escaping with his life was a highly likely outcome.
従属させた女神ならわらわより自分を選ぶはず。お主はきっとそう考えていようね。
This also didn't seem like possible in the common law route that I did, because no one in that route actually became a freaking corrupt goddess.
お主の考えなどお見通しじゃ。だがうぬぼれるでないぞ。わらわの意向の前には小娘たちの曇った眼も立ちどころに晴れるであろうぞ。
Like, the fact that I can actually get this route when none of my goddesses became a servant deity was so awkward. Man, my first reaction to that was just like, what the fuck, throughout the whole thing. You sound pretty confident.
自信ではない。これは確信じゃ。見ておれ。
When Odin spread her arms, her 4 blades shine bright. Green, yellow, red, yellow and white. The different colors of light generated overwhelming divine energy. Each light corresponded to one of the seasoned goddesses. The blades spun around Odin as they breathed new life into the goddesses.
なんですの？これはオーディ様。
Freya! I can't get closer! The divine energy was so unfathomably dense that no monster could approach. Forced to step back, Loki watched the ritual continue. The goddesses had their energy replenished and their wounds cured. But the changes didn't stop there. The quality of their divine energy had become something else entirely. It occurred to Loki. Turka slowly stood up. She blankly kneeled before Odin. The other goddesses did likewise. Thor, Rigret, and even the previously dubious Freya expressed their loyalty. The sudden transformation even took Loki off guard.
どうじゃロキ。こやつらは絶対神であるわらわが生み出した女神じゃ。どのようにしようと思いのままよ。
Yeah, other than the fact that the chest is like too big, I feel like I don't really dislike Odin's new look. But both extremes are just not appealing to me. Like, this clearly does not belong in their body, right?
オーディ様、ご命令を。私たちはオーディ様の眷属。どんな追いつけでもやり遂げてみせます。
The goddesses mechanically finished each other's statements, much to Loki's horror. They weren't so much goddesses anymore as they were Odin's slaves. Those who changed form when they became Loki's servant deities had returned to normal as well. Much like when she purified Sinmara's soul, Odin must not have cared about the personalities of other goddesses. Turka, get a hold of yourself! Have you forgotten me?
あなたなんて知らないわ。オーディ様に立てつくなら容赦しないわよ。
Thor, what about you?
なんだよ、気安く呼ぶんじゃない。
Freya, Rigret!
ずいぶん親しげな呼び方ですが、どなたですの？
Man, this route is clearly meant for us players that were like fueled by hatred to just make us hate everything even more. When you thought that after like overcoming Surt, it was the end of your revenge arc. No. Now we actually want to fuel that anger to destroying these girls instead. I am so ready to actually demolish these guys. I've been ready since my first playthrough, man. And that was like, what, 2 months ago? Oh, baby. I can't wait to actually destroy all of these goddesses and wipe that smirk off of Odin's face. Drat! This is going nowhere! Far from returning to their senses, they didn't even remember Loki. Now they blindly believed in Odin like newborn infants. Their memories were reset, one could say. But unlike Sinmara, they weren't reincarnated by force. Maybe that was something to be thankful for.
残念じゃったのロキよ。頼みの綱のティルカたちはわらわの味方。絶対絶命というわけじゃ。
Odin's victorious cackle echoed. Their master's behavior didn't make them bat an eye. The goddesses loyally awaited orders. Surrounded by goddesses, Loki didn't see any easy way out. As Odin had pointed out, he was undeniably in a dilemma. And what are you planning to do? You have them obeying you, but for what?
知れたことじゃ。わらわの使命は人間たちの守護、そして魔族の駆逐にある。スルトが倒れた今こそ、それをなす時であろう。
You said something about a utopia, right?
いかにも申したが、なんじゃ、時間稼ぎのつもりか。まあよいわ。戯れに教えて死んでよ。
Such arrogance, Odin.
わらわが目指すユグドラシル大陸の完成よ。
What? So it's currently incomplete? Loki furrowed his brow. Yggdrasil was established shortly after the end of Ragnarok. It had served its purpose of protecting the humans under Odin and the seasoned goddesses well enough so far. Sorry, I was looking past my headphone stand. As far as Loki knew, if any aspect of it dissatisfied Odin, it would have to be the fickleness of human hearts. A look at how the goddesses transformed gave Loki some idea about Odin's ideals. Odin, don't tell me that the humans you're protecting are going to be...
さすが里いの。邪念に染まった人間をわらはその対象とは認めない。わらわの理想とは、すべての人間が女神に信仰を捧げる正しきものだけの世界。それがユグドラシル大陸の完成形じゃ。
I figured as much. Giving all humans the same beliefs was Odin's objective. They would live only to believe in the goddesses, free from corruption or persuasion by evil. Humans would not have free will, existing only for the prosperity of the goddesses and the land. So I said this in my, last time I saw this route, or this, prelude to the route. But this reminds me of, SMT law route. How the gods usually try to force humans to be subservient to them and make them not have their own free will. Of course, her utopia would have no place for demons. Demons fed on the evil of humans, so with their sustenance removed, they were fated to slowly die out. Odin's methods were different. Surt's ideas about killing all but the chosen people were the same as hers. I see. So Yggdrasil was always an experiment in realizing your ideals then.
これでも人間を信じようとしたこともあったのじゃがな。魔族の還元に踊らされ、終末教などという邪教が蔓延した。やはりどれほどの時が流れようと、人は変わらぬようじゃ。
I could point out that the apocalypse expanded because of a cursed dark year, but you don't seem interested in listening. Odin wished for the demise of all monsters. As long as they were both putting their lives on the line, no compromise could hope to be reached. In the end, they were fated to fight. I can't wait to destroy you too, Odin. You remember something you shouldn't have, I've come to realize. Well, if this didn't happen, if I were in the Chaos route and I was Loki, I would have probably tried to kill the goddesses anyway. Like, The reason why I chose what I chose during the first playthrough was because I never really had any attachments to the goddesses. I was using everything in my disposal, right? I was using the goddesses to bolster my army, but once I actually had the power, I don't think I need them at all. I probably would have destroyed them. Same with the Demon Sisters. That first playthrough that I did, all of my choices was there because I did not care about anything other than my own revenge. So yeah, you make for a good adversary, Odin. When Odin raised her hand, the other goddesses stood at the ready. They took out their divine gear and aimed at Loki. Their expressions implied not a sliver of doubt or hesitation. Well, I can't just stand around and let that happen. Their belief that Loki had no energy left could be used to his advantage. Surrounded by the goddesses though he was, Loki refused to give up. He went after his prey, dashing straight at Odin. Odin saw it coming and prepared to counter the attack. But a moment later, her eyes opened wide with shock. While you were taking control of the goddesses and talking yourself up, I had plenty of time to come up with a plan. When he discreetly picked up the Transcendent Sword, Loki gave off a pitch-black aura. Ah! Hit by the Transcendent Light, even Odin had to grimace with pain. But it took its toll on Loki too. Wielding a weapon imbued with both divine and dark energy was only possible for Surt by using Sinmara as a vessel. I guess in this one, because Loki got chosen as a Dark Lord, he actually isn't able to use both powers or both energies. Because as we know in the Law route, he actually was able to use both. But then again, maybe that's like a Deus Ex Machina thing. If anyone else used it unwisely, the Transcendent Sword would drain the life of its wielder as much as its enemies. Knowing that, Loki used Sigurd only because he saw no other way out of this situation. He saw that it intimidated Odin well enough, and went further by unleashing the sword's supreme dark energy. Freya stepped forth and swiftly fired an arrow. Typo? Brisingamen flew at sonic speed as Loki approached the exit, piercing his left shoulder. Ah! Turka drew her blade, and Thor nimbly handled her axe as she rushed over. Regret stood back to support them with Galarhorn. There was no way out. Loki narrowly managed to remain standing and try to fight back, but by this point, he was mostly ready to lose. However, Loki's refusal to give up summoned the help of an unexpected monster. An umbrella blocked Turka's sword. Loki stared at its user's back and couldn't believe what he saw. Is that really you, Fina? How are you alive? The woman looked over her shoulder. She was unmistakably Fina. A plethora of emotions instantly struck Loki. Were they not in a crisis, he'd have no shortage of things to ask or say. But unfortunately, it wasn't the time. Wait, she said something? I swear she didn't say anything. I couldn't hear it. Not good, Fina. Mjolnir was too powerful for even Vanaheim to sustain a direct hit. Loki tried to defend Fina by deflecting the axe himself, but pain rushed through his shoulder. The wound left by Fina prevented him from wielding any weapon effectively. Not Fina. Freya. Typo again there. Very big typo actually. Drat. Now he would lose Fina again. She survived only to die right in front of him. It was more than he could bear. Loki leaned forward to try and stagger in front of her, but he heard a second, equally impossible voice. an umbrella gracefully opened. It was Vanaheim's counterpart, Niflheim. Lightning struck as Thor swung the axe, but Niflheim's barrier firmly held it back.
私のミョルニルを私のニベルヘイムとフェーナのバナヘイムが2つ揃うこと衝撃の強度を何倍にも高めます。
So this is why I was very shocked to know in the law route that Freya actually died and Minia took her position. Because in this route, both of them, as you can see, were actually alive. I was doubting my memories during the law route whether or not who I saw was actually Minia or Fina. But turns out I was actually correct in my memories that they both were still alive because they both showed up here.
私たちが力を合わせれば女神の真相を防ぐこともゴーレムの自爆に耐えることもできるのですよ。
Minia, you're here too.
ここまで姉さんに助けられてですがこれはどういう状況なのです。するとなぜ女神たちがロキ様を
Let me explain later. For now, we just have to get the goddesses off our tails. Loki held his unharmed arm up to the goddesses. That is very hard to say. He aimed at a gap in the barrier and launched a fireball. Rather than try to damage them, he meant to try and hold them back. The fireball landed and burst into a giant pillar of flame that repelled Turka and Thor. Loki, Fina and Minia took the opportunity to turn around. Okay, maybe Thor did say something before, but her voice is so low in comparison to everyone else.
炎を消して急いで追いかけましょう。待つのじゃ。それ以上は良いわ。捨ておけ。ですがオーディン様、今ならまだ追いつけます。どうか追撃の命を。
Odin told them to cease, but Turka complained. Odin promptly rejected her request.
ならぬ。捨ておけと言うておる。今はお主たちもまだ完全ではないような。オーディン様、それはどういう？
Perturbed by their leader's response, the seasoned goddesses looked at each other. Odin left them aside and thought to herself. Odin's ideals demanded that Yggdrasil be built on faith alone. If her scheme came to fruition, monsters would be fated for extinction. Odin imagined the near future with great elation. Fine. This is nothing much. I'm actually gonna quick save here because the Chaos route actually has a lot of triggers for different endings. And unlike the Law route, you don't actually get a choice. The way you trigger the endings is actually by doing specific things in the gameplay. Loki brushed off Fina's concern and dashed down the hall of the auditorium. Her mind lingered on the unscrupulous way Odin stole the goddesses from him, and the rage he felt. He wouldn't let it end like this. The frustration of losing his possessions drove him onward. Just you watch, Odin. The crime of betraying me is one I'll make you regret. Turka, Thor, Freya, and Rigret will all come back to me, and I'll remind you where you stand. If all his past torture was too soft, then so be it. If he taught her how no amount of fate compared to the joy of serving him, then she should never turn against him again. I'm looking forward to this, Odin. Fina was keenly aware of how her master had changed, but couldn't say a thing about it. Her nervous gaze went unnoticed by him. Even after they boarded the Simara, thoughts of how to make Odin submit were all that occupied Loki's mind. I can't wait too, Loki. I really can't wait. But yes, we are on the road to Nidhogg. Or, sorry, not the road to Nidhogg, but like, this difficulty is Nidhogg. Road to getting S rank on the endings, I mean. With her power restored, Odin used her divine energy to snatch the 4 goddesses from Loki and station them roads to cities, okay, throughout the floating continent, instantly taking over Valhalla. Now that their hearts were lost, the goddesses defended gallantly and impregnably. Completely deprived of their memories of Loki, they blockaded the roads with machine-like composure. If anyone tried to cross, whether monster or human, then they would be mercilessly cut down. Odin's goal of a world where the gods brought their vision of perfection and purity was already beginning to take hold. Loki escaped the collapsing auditorium and returned to his flagship, where he sat in the captain's chair on the bridge. From the time he boarded the auditorium to the second he escaped, there was hardly a moment of rest. That sentiment was implied by Garm's look of fatigue. After barely escaping death, Fina also looked exhausted in a way she seldom did. The ship seems to be intact, but the casualties in our army are fairly severe. With this many deaths, I don't see how we'll be able to mobilize any squads for a while. Thankfully, the Sinmara was safe, but the soldiers were fatigued and injured to a considerable degree. It was to be expected from a conflict with Surt's army, but now their medical team was frantically running around the ship, and all the beds in the infirmary were occupied. What's surprising to me is how Minya hated you so much, only to cooperate with you now. Leaning against the wall, Minya snorted. Refusing to look at Loki, she gave him a brash excuse. She acted as Surt's spokesperson and secretary for so long that the natural behavior she now exhibited seemed off. She was much more emotionally expressive. Like, a lot of the words were actually blocked by my headphone stand, so I was like, what the hell is that word? Fina put her hand on her mouth to conceal a faint smile. The maid sister's pleasant interactions put a smile on Garm's face, but when he turned to look at Loki, he froze up. All the darkness in the world had been gathered in his eyes, erasing all emotion. Loki was never one to let his feelings be known, but he appeared even colder than usual. Garm had served Loki for a long time, but never once had seen eyes like these. Surt's defeat and Odin's betrayal were both relayed to Garm, but he didn't hear the details of what happened in the auditorium, nor did he have it in himself to ask. When Loki returned with the Dark Lord's great sword, he gave off an imposing presence. At any rate, the important thing is that you're safe. I wouldn't want to lose any precious soldiers. Loki disregarded Garm's fears and replied without batting an eye. Minya asked him about the future prospects.
おそらく別次元の強さだろうな。生半可な準備で挑んでは戦いにもならない。
First, we'll strengthen the army. With all the goddesses taken away, we're in the same state as when we first came to the continent. In fact, now that Odin has our full power, it's even worse.
ですが戦力の状況とは言ってもユグドラシル全土はスルトとの一戦で腐敗しておりまともな戦力があるとは思いません。何か手でも終わりですか？
Call everyone left over from Surt's army. They're only a husk now that Surt is dead, so they should be easily brought over to our side.
かしこまりました。すぐに手配いたします。
Odin is now a threat to all of us, and to humans as well. She's extremely dangerous. That goddess will be my first order of business as the new Dark Lord. I swear to kill her. The second act of Ragnarok will end with our victory.
一応確認しておきますがまさかその程度でオーディンを倒せるとは思っていませんよね。
Of course, I have Sagiarn, as long as I use this. As you can see, I don't even need the key to become Ved at any time.
口調もロキ様のように見受けられますが
Yes, I have enough dark energy now to prevent Vet's consciousness from consuming me. Well, taking this form does seem to pass a bit of his roughness onto me though. When Loki swung the greatsword, he returned to normal as if it were all an illusion. The pain he once felt each time he became Ved was a thing of the past. But even this isn't enough. Vanquishing a full-powered Odin will require procuring the greatest forces I can think of.
最大の戦力
The four goddesses. Garm couldn't help but interject.
そうは言っても大将、その女神さんは一人残らずオーディンの手先になってるじゃねえか。どうするつもりなんだ？
そうよロキちゃん。女神ちゃんたちはオーディンの意向によって完全に操り人形。話し合いなんかじゃどうにもならないわよ。
If the goddesses have truly forgotten me, then so be it. I just have to defeat them again. I can force them to obey me a second time. And if they won't, I'll just subject them to being sex slaves and use them until they break. No humanity could be found in his words, but Loki set them perfectly fluidly, settling on how to deal with the goddesses.
ロキ様ですが
What, Fina? You disagree?
何でもあります。
At any rate, have the squads assembled quickly. As soon as we're ready, we'll go capture the goddesses.
おいおい、ちょっと待ってくれよ大将。うちの部隊はスルトとの一戦で疲労困憊だ。さすがにすぐには動けねえぜ。
Then just mobilize whoever you can, and make it quick. We can't waste a single second before getting the power of the goddesses. Sorry, but you'll have to get yourselves into gear. Loki didn't look at all sorry, commanding them like an emperor. Garm was initially bitter, but shrugged and went straight to organizing his troops. Now, which goddess to capture first? So, looking at the guy here, I'm actually supposed to capture Thor first. I'm actually gonna make a save here. Boom. Don't know why we're supposed to capture Thor first, but I'm just gonna follow the guide to a T. We'll capture that gorilla woman, Thor. She's the mightiest of the goddesses. Capturing her first couldn't hurt. That will be our plan. Everybody, prepare for battle. With that, those present in the bridge left to get ready for the next fight. I'll return to my room. Fina, assemble any proposed plans into documents to bring me later.
承知いたしました。失礼します、ロキ様。参謀や重臣たちからの作戦立案書をお持ちいたしました。
Right. Leave them there. What is it, Fina? If that's all, then you can go now.
ロキ様。
Fina wrapped her arms around his shoulders and hugged him from behind. What do you want, Fina?
ロキ様、私は怖いのです。魔王の 力を手に入れたロキ様は確かに強くなられました。ですがそれと同時にまるで別人になったようにも感じられます。
He certainly is a different person, Fina, but this is the Loki that I wanted to actually control ever since the beginning of the game. So, yeah, please don't touch me. Your caress is actually annoying me. Please.
自分の意志で力を振るっているのではなく、魔剣に込められた亡きスルトの亡霊に突き動かされているのではないかと、そんな馬鹿げたことを考えてしまうのです。
Oh, you're done? Sorry, I thought she was actually gonna say one more sentence. By becoming the Dark Lord, Loki had undoubtedly acquired power that rivaled Surt's. He controlled all of the Demon Realm's forces and used his immense energy to incinerate his enemies. Even the Demon Sisters would obey Loki's orders without complaint. He dominated everything with the Dark Lord's supreme power. But that overwhelming power even seemed to be changing Loki's personality. It terrified Fina to no end.
私は亡きお父上お母上のためにもムスペルヘーム家の再興を望んでおります。ですがそれだけです。ロキ様がご創建であれば私は
I don't need you to rule the world. Before Fina could say that, Loki seized her hand and interrupted. My long-standing grudge has been relieved. I could hand this throne to someone else, and then you, me, and Garm could live together in peace. That wouldn't be too bad. Yes, not so bad at all. But that won't do. If someone else takes over, and they start Ragnarok again, what then? Somebody, somewhere, will be torn from their mother, lose their family, and lose their home. Really? Loki actually thought about this? I thought that he would be fueled by pure anger, but maybe this is also like him trying to rationalize his anger or something. Because if I were in his shoes, I don't think I would have time to actually think about that. The humans and goddesses won't be able to destroy my country of monsters, my true empire. That is the duty placed upon me, Loki Muspelheim. That is my belief. And anything that will help make it happen is fair game. If the desire of the humans is required, then I will plant the seeds of chaos. I will torture and enslave the goddesses as a cornerstone of my conquest. If it leads to a paradise for monsters, I will commit atrocities beyond belief. Now that I have the power to do it, and that conquest will require your power, I will never let you go. Work by my side for eternity.
承知いたしました。ロキ様。
I guess she just wants Loki to still, or she still just wants to be by Loki's side, if that actually makes her happy. Loki widely smiled, pulled Fina over, and gave her an intense kiss. In a moonlit room, Loki and Fina deeply kissed, seeking to feel each other's fluids, heartbeats, and warmth. They were not master and servant, boyfriend and girlfriend, commander and soldier, or even husband and wife. Even if Loki married some stranger, Fina's dedication would remain steadfast. Their relationship transcended all definitions. It was like the culmination of true trust. Ragnarok's supreme deity, huh? I can't wait to destroy you! Okay, new music. Let's take a look at what we're dealing against. Okay, so Regret, Freya, Turka, and Thor are at the 4 cornerstones. I think we should be able to get that in one turn, no problem. Oh my god. We actually gonna have to face Baldur there. She's actually very difficult to beat. Oh boy. Interesting. Let me take a look at the Mingle and Call first. Who is that on the bottom right? Is that supposed to be Minya or something? But we got Minya. This route actually gave you Minya. But we already got her from the Law route. Let me see. Let me change some of my people here. Because these guys are actually losing a lot of health. And this music is pretty nice. Yeah, new music, OP. Vampire, gotta get rid of you. The Black Knight. So this theme is mostly going to be pure... What's the word? Like field. Spell barrier, that's good. That's 65 spell barrier. So this is gonna be a dark field, or this is gonna be a field like a team. Equitable heal, water field, that's pretty good. Anything else that gives me field? Lightning blast. Dragon scales, water field. Kinda don't want to use my dragons though. Here, all the dragons are gonna be here. This girl, she has a boost dragon. I guess I can use the Dragon Diva here. This theme is also pretty good. I got the Bara too. I actually use a lot of like Key of Destinies. Heck, I actually got 12 right now, so I can use one right now for you guys. So we got like the Dentalion. We got the Assault Gunner. We got the Undead Lord. We got... who else? We got a lot of people from the Key of Destiny. Mostly ones that actually got Madness medallions, because I can't make Madness medallions yet. But because we got the God Medallion, we can actually make a lot of these guys. Which I did. We can also make like the Dentalion. And who else I forgot? I think Asura, yeah. Dentalion and Asura we can make. So I'm taking a look at these guys' Triumph and Loyalty right now. And see if I need to change someone. Or dismiss someone. And get them back. Doesn't look like I need to. Okay, so I think this portion of the episode is gonna be mostly gameplay. So if you guys are not into that... yeah. I am into the gameplay though. The gameplay in this game is really fun. Let's see. Light field 18. This is actually pretty good. I'm gonna make Odin put there. Okay. Spell absorb, helmet split, fire field. I'm gonna put you there. So a good thing to have is actually someone who is a field specialist and then an attacker. That's what I read from the strategy guide. But basically, if you have those, you can basically win most battles in 2 fights. So you usually want something like that. Poison field. Sap Demon. Treasure Hunt. So who else has a field? Dark Field, Vedrung. There we go. Spell Barrier, Lightning Field. Okay. That's another field guy. And this is an attacker. You have Poison Field. You have Light Field. You don't have a field. So I'm gonna do this. Let's see, who else has fields? Fire Field. Poison Field, Light Field. No field, no field. Fire field, boom. Demon Medic. So who else has fields? Ice field, there we go. Boom. I don't think I have enough to actually make all fields and like attacking units or attacking groups, but they should be fine. Everyone on the offensive. We are destroying these people. And Thor is gonna be the first one to actually lose. So you guys might be surprised in what the enemies look like at times, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god, look at these guys' stats. Look at how crazy this is. 700 attack, 900 attack, 600 defense. Like, oh my goodness. This is actually crazy. But we're gonna try to destroy these guys, because my team is fairly strong. Even though these guys might not seem strong because they don't got that much stats, they are strong. Especially my dots, I think. Hopefully I'm not like jobbing again. Yeah. Oh, Bara! There we go. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, Thor didn't even get a chance to do anything. Get fucked. The thing that's gonna stay alive is probably the androgynous thing. But he's gonna, or she's gonna kill herself from the looks of it. That Seraph is annoying with its thing. But look at those dots. Look at those dots, bros. Oh my god. They were supposed to be doing good work. What the hell is happening? Oh my god, am I actually supposed to kill these guys instead of the androgynous? I thought my team comp was actually doing good. What the hell? Guys, kill these guys. What the hell? Oh my god. Guys. Wowza, you guys are jobbing hard. What happened? Oh my goodness. Holy shit, they got destroyed. I actually do want to get an S rank on this, so I will see you guys once you actually beat up Thor in one turn. Holy shit, that sucks. And I'm back. And we did not even finish this in one turn, by the way. My team are just too weak to actually deal with two of the stronger units. Jesus. So I actually had to like do 2 turns here to get these 3 guys to die. But yeah, all of my units actually suck past unit 5 to 10. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to end the episode after this event though. It's actually 5:41 right now, and I gotta hurry up and eat my food, drink my pre-workout, and go to the gym soon. There was a sound like a landslide as Thor threw her divine gear through the jungle, destroying a portion of Loki's squad. Mjolnir had received Odin's power and became even more destructive. One of its flaws, its charge time, had also been reduced. She could now wipe out armies better than anyone on the continent.
血がうずいてくるね。オーディン様への道を守るだなんて耳っちいことは言わず、クソ魔族どもは私がここで全滅させてやるよ。トール様、敵部隊さらに接近しております。任せな。行くよ。エスピリト全開放。
Mjolnir returned to Thor. She raised it again, aiming at Loki's remaining forces. Out of all the goddesses, I think Thor's voice is actually the one that I feel like is a bit underwhelming. Huh. Odin's control hasn't made her any less loud. I can tell exactly where she is.
またあの脳みそ筋肉女神の相手。ああ、やだやだ。私あいつ苦手なのよね。
フェンリルがこの大陸に来て真っ先にトールと戦ったと聞いているが、どうだったんだ？
暑苦しくて騒がしくて、私の一番嫌いなタイプよ。戦は相手を殴り飛ばしたら勝ちって考えてるような単純明快な筋肉ゴリラ女って感じ。戦うならもっと可愛げのある相手と戦いたいわね。それで 顔が良かったらなおよしって感じかしら。
お前らしい贅沢な悩みだな。
ま、そんなんだから私がちょっと操作しただけで部下に反乱されるし、今もこうしてオーディンに操られてるわけなんだけどね。あれ、どうしたのヨルミちゃん、ご機嫌がないの？だってフェンリルお姉ちゃんは相手を倒すことしか考えてないやつを嫌いなんでしょ？それじゃああたいなんか全然ダメってことじゃん。ヨルリンが可愛いから全部許してあげる。ほらガイグリガイグリ。うにゃー、そんなに子供扱いしなくてもいいにゃー、フェンリルお姉ちゃん。お三方とも騒がないでください。ここもすでに敵陣なんですから。それでどうなさいますか、奥さん。
If Thor's nearby, then we obviously thrash her. Come, let's take her down. Okay. My main team should be able to destroy this, except for the Dominator, because she actually died on the last fight. Sorry, Thor, but you're nothing against this main team. This main team is just too destructive. Wow, she doesn't even have a turn! I can't believe the Dominator is still alive. See ya, Thor. I swear, as if I needed more work. Not only did you let yourselves be controlled, but you forced me to do something about it?
まず、私、今まで一体何して。
Oh, she actually turned back instantly. Interesting. Odin was controlling you. Also, I'm not Ved. I'm Loki.
そうなのか。なんか全身が痛くて考えがまとまらないよ。
That's probably my fault. I tried turning you back to normal by delivering a heavy shock to your body. It seems like it worked.
そうだったのか。悪いね。ちょっと、もうちょっとやり方がなかったのかよ。乱暴すぎるだろう。
There was no time, and I couldn't think of anything. You're back to normal and doing fine. Don't complain.
まあいいよ。その話は後にするとして。まあ、ロキ、オーディン様が人間の完全支配を目論んでいるっていうのはいいのかね。
That should go without saying. She went out of her way to steal your free will, so I think that's proof enough. But I'm not letting her get away with it. It services nobody but goddesses to cultivate a farm of humans without desire. It's so twisted that it makes me sick. I don't care for her actions, so I'll use all my might to take her down. What about you, Thor?
私は女神の眷属だ。本来はオーディン様の味方するのが筋ってもんだけど、オーディン様のあの考えはどう見ても普通じゃない。戻せるものならどうにか正気に戻してやりたい。
I think the normal her wants to control all life in the world, though.
何か言ったかい、ロキ？
No, nothing. Then come with me, Thor. We'll stop her.
わかったよ。
In parenthesis, kill her. And alright, now I'm gonna go explain to you guys this Tentacle Grotto scene. So to get one of the endings in this game, you actually have to get this scene, right? So I'm actually not gonna go get this scene right now because once we actually do get all of the girls, that's when we actually get the trigger scenes for everything. Take over Vlaskov and reduce Holy Valhalla to Asset 3. You can start initiating the endings for Chaos Route. Okay. So to get the Chaos endings, we actually just have to get everyone to our side, reduce everything to 3, and that should be the last preparations we need before we can start getting all of the endings. Because there are certain things we need to do to get the endings. Let me take a look though. Turka Training 90, which we got. Freya train 70, which I think we got. Thor train 80. So she needs to go to 80. Alright. Regret train 70. Okay. Alright. So I got everything in order, it looks like. We got an attacking team, which shouldn't be too difficult to beat. I'm gonna go beat Regret after this. But yeah, for now, this is where we're gonna end the episode. It's a lot shorter episode because I did not even show you guys my failed attempts at trying to get Thor in one turn. But I did record about an hour 15 minutes right now, so yeah, it's... Damn, the episodes might be even shorter if there's like an H scene or something. God. But yeah, I just cannot afford to actually be not anal about the recording time right now, guys. So I do apologize. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. What I could do though for people on YouTube anyway is to actually skip the H scenes and maybe replay those like on Saturday or Sunday when I do have free time or something and record them for Patreon. But I don't know, I feel like I'm doing Patreon people such a disservice by doing that though. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. But yeah, Patreon people will be getting these episodes uncensored, etc, etc. And people on YouTube, if you guys are not on Patreon just yet, do feel free to become a free member because that's where I'm going to be putting first episode previews of future playthroughs. Which new YouTube playthroughs will start in 2 weeks. I'll take the week off next week because I'm gonna be like picking from the roulette which playthrough I'm gonna be doing. And I will see you guys on the next one, which I should be doing tomorrow morning before I go to the gym and go to work again. See you guys.